We Put This On, Season 3, Episode 18, where we watch Strip Search, Season 1, Episode 1 through 4. I'm Chris Lorenz.
Robert Kitts.
Everyone's favorite cartoon character, Max Maduke.
That was weak.
Thanks.
All right. This show. I can't. Rob.
This is tough to describe this show.
No, it's America's next top webcomic artist.
It's just like Top Hooker, but for finding Doug.
We haven't done Top Hooker on
What
the
is-
podcast.
What is Top Hooker?
We'll do it put it on the queue. I guess we'll do next week.
Oh, wait, it's fishing. It's not hooking. Got it.
Inside joke.
We gotta do it on the pod if we're gonna talk about it on the pod.
Oh, we got to do it now. This is like the second or third week in a row we brought it
I
up.
thought when we said we're gonna do Strip Search, I thought we were finally getting back to a naked show. And
I was really hoping
I was
for that
rudely
too.
disappointed.
Just
Wait.
like Top Hooker, we were sidetracked.
When I was Googling for how to download this, I searched for like Strip Search SO1E01, and I found Naked Attraction SO1E01 hosted on Pornhub.
Oh, our good friend Naked Attraction.
Rob, give us the description of the show.
All right. Strip Search is a reality game show where Jerry Holkins and Mike Krahulik, not sure if I pronounced those right, search for the next big webcomic creator. Watch as 12 artists from around the work compete for $15,000 in cash at a 1-year cartooning gig with Penny Arcade. In episode 1, we meet the artists looking to compete. That's Strip Search on the YouTube.
You didn't mention the producer, director.
We'll get to him. He clearly
sound producer.
He clearly messed up the copy
host,
since he wrote around the work
copy.
instead of around the world.
The great Graham Stark.
Graham Stark, Ned Stark's cousin.
Yeah, so this show is just a traditional competition show.
Yeah, it's an art competition show.
Yeah.
It actually shares a lot with Face Off.
Yes.
Yeah.
But the production of the show has to be one of the worst produced shows I think we've seen.
Quick thing before we get more into the production is this was recommended by one of our listeners, Eric. So shout out to Eric for recommending this show.
Thank you, Eric.
And I'm sorry.
Thank you, Eric, but no thank you, Eric. How about the production of the show?
I mean, it's basically a YouTube show. Like, I don't think there's anything we've watched that has not been shown on like a major television network before, right?
Was that the Tester show shown on a real television network?
Oh, it is very. I've never actually watched The Tester.
Oh, you missed that?
but I'm sure it's very similar.
I don't remember the Tester, to be honest with you.
It was very forgettable.
I think the Tester is better produced than this.
But I think it was also a web-only show.
I don't remember. I
The
think
Tester
so too.
didn't break basically their first episode into 4 mini episodes, though.
Do you think that? Or
We'll have to get. That's a minutia we got to get to.
All right, so this production's kind of minutia. So the show starts out where they intro all of the people, and then they intro all the people again, but like in the house and not like in booths.
They come into the house one by one.
And then after that, they play a game of telephone, telestrations, some game where
They called it the fax machine game.
the fax machine.
which I haven't
game,
heard it called that before.
some sort of icebreaker for the comics to like get to know each other's art and just kind of draw and have fun.
And like, it makes sense.
I mean, it definitely made sense for them to do.
Yeah.
We'll get into more into that in a bit. And then they had a challenge where they had to come up with a T-shirt for Strip Search, and the winner of the challenge got to have their shirt on pennyarcade.com, and they got a portion of the proceeds, and they got to choose the 2 people going up for elimination.
big
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 winner.
stakes.
Big stakes there. And then 2 people went up for elimination. They were given a theme of table tennis and space, and they had to come up with a comic in 90 minutes. Somebody won, somebody lost, and that was the show.
Yeah.
That's the show.
There was if you can't tell, there's 4 distinct beats there. There's the intros, there's the telestrations, there's the T-shirt, and then there's the elimination. And each one of those was an episode.
Yeah, it starts off at like 16 minutes an episode, and we're like, oh, that's very doable. And then like the last 2 are like 22 minutes, and it seems like it's a small difference. It's a big difference.
Well, they didn't do anything in episode 1 though.
I know.
For 16
I know.
minutes.
No, they all had to walk into that house.
They introed twice.
we got to just get into the minutia.
We're in the minutia now. We're
It's
in the
minutia
minutia
time. All right,
It's minutia time.
Episode 1. They have to. So a bunch of people are in a hotel, but they have to show up at this like
Which hotel
party
were they
house.
at?
It's the Hotel Max. God damn it! That should have been my name, son of a bitch. All right,
Max.
we're going back. We're re-recording everything.
We're not re-recording it.
Oh my god!
Wait. Before we get to this hotel,
Yeah.
so they spent at least 4 or 5 minutes just panning all of these people over Lake Washington. Just everyone just saying their name.
No, not that. It's just the
No,
name
no.
is on the screen. That's like the opening credits.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the opening credits.
Is that?
Yeah.
It felt like I don't know.
It was very long.
Very long, and like the the fact that they do that and then they go to this hotel and everyone gets introed again.
Yep. And they put blindfolds on.
And then they all put blindfolds on where secrecy must be maintained.
Must be maintained.
Then they all go into this house one by one.
No, they all sit in a car together, but don't talk to each other,
I
and
think
they
it's
are
2
blindfolded.
cars. I think there's 6 people per car in 2 cars.
Sure. It's so weird.
It's
Yeah, so
weird.
they
But then-
definitely were sitting outside that house blindfolded, not talking, and like tapped on the shoulder like, you go in now.
Yeah. That's because they go into the house not blindfolded.
And it doesn't seem like they know who the other people are.
No. So
It's the
why?
It's
Would it
the
have been
craziest
better?
thing.
Shouldn't they have all just paraded them into the house blindfolded and then everyone take off your blindfolds all at once? Wouldn't that have been better?
No, because then you don't have these scenes of like everyone getting to know each other.
I'm good with that.
Just, like, this is the weirdest part. This is why the production so weird feels so weird to me. Is like it's fine to do that. You just don't have to show it to us.
Yeah.
Like it's such padding. Like I just like okay, they all show up at the house. That's the start of the show.
So this is something we might need to get into later, but this is clearly like done by the 2 guys who run Penny Arcade, and they're in the show sometimes, and they clearly seem to have a good like self-awareness of this is ridiculous. We're making a webcomic reality show, and like are leaning into that. But then there's our friend Graham Stark, who in the credits is director, producer, editor, host, and like 4 other things.
It's wild.
Is it? Who do we blame for this? Is it the Penny Arcade guys, or
Well,
is
the
it
Penny
Graham
Arcade
Stark?
guys hired this dude, so
So in the end, it all comes back to them anyway. But like, how active do you think they were in this, or do you think they're just being pulled in for like the part?
I think that they just do the challenge piece and like that's like it.
Right.
They'll like do the intro to the challenge and the challenge, and they're like, we're making comics and doing Penny Arcade. We're doing this expo thing and have like
they have a whole empire of things they're doing.
They really
Yeah.
do. Yeah.
so like I definitely think this is all on Graham Stark.
Oh, Graham Stark.
Sorry, buddy.
Okay, so yeah, they do their intros, and that's literally all of episode 1.
Yeah, 16 minutes. That's the show. Roll credits.
So I do want to put this out there. I'm not a huge Penny Arcade guy. I don't find their humor very funny. But it's not just them. I don't really find many online comics funny.
Mm-hmm.
So that I just keep that in mind as this episode goes on.
I'm also not really into the webcomic world, so I'm probably not. We're probably not the best ones. Although Max, drop your deep comic knowledge on us.
I would say maybe like 12th grade or so. I was the sort of person who like every 3 months would be like, oh yeah, Penny Arcade exists. Let me like go through the backlog and then forget about it for another 3 months. I didn't really love it. I didn't really hate it.
My main complaint with most of them is that there's no timing. It's like they're trying to be funny, but there's only 3 panels, and they're just not good enough most of the time.
The best webcomic is Garfield minus Garfield.
Well, I was thinking of going with Max Davis as my name, the creator
Oh.
of Garfield, but I didn't.
That was a good one.
I guess one thing that happens in this intro episode that I thought was pretty funny is like a couple of them came in and said like, yeah, I do life comics.
Oh, okay.
And I do journal comic. And I'm like, what the hell does that mean?
All of them have like very strictly defined categories for their comics they do for fun. But yeah, there's this one guy I hate who says my comic is Secret Diary of a Journal Comic, and it's a journal comic. What the fuck's a journal comic?
Who said that again? I remember someone said that.
The guy
Was it
whose
the
face I
hat?
don't like.
Oh, what's his name? The guy with the beard?
All of them have beards.
No, was it the guy with the weird hat?
Yeah, I mean, there's also multiple people with weird hats, but also yes.
There's one particular hat that you pointed out that you hated.
I really should have the list of all the people.
No, it wasn't that guy. Different guy with a different hat.
Was it Maki?
No,
Okay. Was it
it might have been Tavis. I'm
Tavis?
not sure.
There was a guy named Tavis.
I'm not sure.
Not Travis. Tavis.
Yeah, I've heard that name before. Anyway, yeah, they're all like very pigeonholing themselves, which I found interesting.
I feel like that was just a way for them to get a handle on like define their art in a way that made sense to them, and like a way for them to advertise
Sure.
to people to be like, hey, this isn't Penny Arcade. This is like, you know, this is this kind of a thing, and not like being pushing themselves up against like big players. But like, I don't know. It doesn't make much sense to me. Like, I don't know how to define those things. Yeah, I don't think I have anything else to say about episode one.
Let's go to episode 2. The fax machine.
If I thought episode 1 was boring,
Episode 2 was not great.
spoiler alert, we definitely fast forward through a bit of this episode.
I think we fast forward through half the episode, and we definitely are qualified to talk about the entire episode.
It's like if you watch when somebody explains a story to you that was really funny to them, and then you're like, oh, you had to be there.
Yeah.
That's this game.
Yeah.
Like, it's fine for them to play telestrations or whatever what would they call it?
The fax machine.
The
game.
fax machine game. Because it actually is pretty fun to play. I've played it.
Right.
It would be
yeah.
really fun to play if I was much better at drawing too.
I've never realized how bad that game is if you have zero investment in it.
Yeah. It's just
And-
like
Yeah.
the best part about that game is like looking at your drawings and what you did and what other people did in reaction to them.
Yeah.
And it means literally nothing if you're not involved.
Like, Drawful as a game is fun to play. Watching a TV show of people playing Drawful would not be fun. And that's basically what this
but
is.
like, if I'm hanging out in a room and I'm not playing Drawful, but I'm watching other people, like, I get a little chuckle here and there. So maybe I'm just funnier than these,
I mean, you
comic
are.
writers.
I think you're also caught up in the energy of the room.
That's
Right.
fair.
Like if you're over the internet, I'm not sure. And you know the people. It's not like
Actually,
you're
no.
watching like random people on the internet play.
No, I've watched streams of random people on the internet playing Drawful, and they're so much funnier than this.
Maybe it's just the editing. It could just come down to
Yeah, Graham.
It was literally just 16 minutes of people revealing their telestrations.
To be fair, it was 12 minutes.
felt like 60 minutes.
it definitely
not-
felt
not the
so
newscast.
long. Like we were like, is this the whole episode? And we're like, yep, all right. we gotta move on.
Yeah. The one thing that was slightly interesting about it was just seeing people that are definitely much better at drawing play the telestrations and seeing like their drawings.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But that was not enough to sustain 12 minutes of content.
Like, yeah, when we play telestrations, it's like, oh, that's a pizza. These people are like, yeah, that's a dinosaur riding a wave and
Yeah.
on
They
the
had-
moon or something. You're
They
like,
had
oh, yeah.
0 stick figures when I think we have almost 100% stick figures in ours.
Yeah.
And so what were the stakes of the fax machine game?
I didn't bring this up in my quick run through of the episode, but the winner got some sort of redraw thingy.
I like how they picked the winner, though. There was just kind of a sort of who did good? That this person was okay, that person all right. And then Graham goes, "Are you saying you think that person did pretty good?" And like, yeah, he was good. And like, I guess he's the winner then. So like, it was very kind of like
Graham
could have picked whoever the fuck he wanted to be the winner of that.
I have a question for you, Rob.
Yes.
Who is a better host? Graham. Oh, damn it. I had the name in my head.
Levin Sad.
No. Who is the challenge Chance versus Stars host?
Oh, Victor Cruz.
Victor Cruz. Who's a better host?
Well, I've never seen an episode of Champs vs. Stars hosted by Victor Cruz, so I will go with Graham Stark as the better host.
How can you say that? How can you say that?
I've only heard bad things, but Victor Cruz is the host.
What was it? Is there another bad host that we've had?
We've definitely had some bad hosts.
What about the host of James's favorite show, Utopia?
I didn't see Utopia.
Damn it.
I love that show. And I love that host. He's so weird.
I mean, we could just go straight to the host of Celebrity Apprentice if you want, but we don't need to.
No.
Nope.
No,
Nope.
We're not going there. So
Arnold?
Arnold, what a guy.
Yeah.
Definitely better host than Graham Stark.
So
Who's better host, Graham Stark or Ned Stark?
Ned Stark, faux show.
All right.
Dead Ned Stark or living?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Does he have his head when he's hosting?
Is he? If he's like the goat, nearly headless Nick from Harry Potter, I'm in.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
Maybe.
So third episode, an actual somewhat interesting episode.
Basically, the start of the real episode.
Yeah.
Is episode 3.
The challenge.
The challenge of creating this T-shirt. They brought in 3 people that work at Penny Arcade that are
Yes.
like part of the design team.
Mm-hmm.
Design/t-shirt team.
I don't know, whatever that
Whatever.
means. I didn't know Penny Arcade was this big that they have like.
Penny Arcade is a empire. They
Now
got
it's an
everybody.
empire. I just don't know what like.
I don't think this is that old.
This is like 2013.
Okay.
Let me.
And like, PAX
It's-
was a big thing.
I
in
think somebody's
2013.
wearing a PAX Prime shirt. So
Yeah.
that puts it in some sort of.
This was in 2013. So it's 5 years ago.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just hard for me to put that like web comic into like context for like Empire. Like the only other thing I know they do is the Penny Arcade Expo.
Graham Stark is from Canada.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
It's okay, Max. I'll get over it.
All right. So everyone has to design a T-shirt, and they're given what, an hour?
An hour or 30.
No, 1 hour for this.
1 hour? Okay.
And
Design a T-shirt for the show.
yeah, so they bring 3 people in. They like give really random and vague criteria for the T-shirt.
Yes.
Like one of them was like, yeah, it's got to be like your own style that links to like, I'm just like, what do you mean? Like, this is a T-shirt for this show. You can't be like, it has to be in your own style. That doesn't make any sense. And then, like, some of the others were a little better, but like nothing like, these are the things I'm looking for. These are the things we do when we make T-shirts. Like, there's no help given by these 3 people. They're just like, yeah, you wear T-shirts, or make one, you know? Like, there's definitely a difference between you wear them and like, these are the design outlines of a T-shirt.
Sure.
And a lot of people did really bad T-shirts.
Like, these are not designers. These are comic artists. It was a really weird first challenge.
Yeah. Like, I don't know what the rest of these challenges are, but if they're all, it's like, yeah, we brought you onto this makeup show and we're going to have to, put it on people. You're here to put like prosthetics on people. We're going to make you put prosthetics on dogs. You're like, what? How's like that? I guess that's kind of related. I don't know.
Welcome to Face Off, the makeup show. What if you had a tattoo of your butt on your face? That's all I got.
Like, it just seems like it would be much more beneficial for all of us if they were making comics about things that, like, at least to start out and warm up,
Maybe it gets better. Who knows?
I wonder if part of it is the second challenge, it's the elimination, is make a comic. So they purposely make the first challenge.
Yeah,
not
that's
make
what
a
I was thinking is like, as this goes on, I don't think they're ever making a comic in the like challenge episode, and it's only in the eliminations they're making them.
It's possible.
But that would be like you wouldn't. The winner could theoretically just like never make a comic.
Well, I wonder if almost like there's an advantage to going into the. Maybe we'll get into more later, but there's an advantage to going into the challenge, the elimination part, and winning, because then you're getting reps at making the kind of comics that they're looking for. And so when you get to the end game, you've got some like, oh yeah, no, this is the kind of stuff they want in their comics. I don't know.
It definitely feels like the person that won the elimination has like a leg up in this competition.
I think so.
But as with the challenge, going in an elimination is always like
That's true.
you can be eliminated.
It's high risk, high reward.
We don't know what the reward is from the rest of the production of the show. I'm assuming there's no reward.
There's definitely no like, oh, you won a challenge, you're gonna get to go like get a nice dinner or something. That's
Yeah,
not
it's
happening.
no survivor winning the challenge or whatever.
Right.
So as they go through this what I actually enjoyed about this t-shirt competition was they had the 3 judges critiquing them as they went.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like nice to get like progression of like what they thought and like the judge. You get much more of the judges' thoughts about what was going on versus these testimonials where you get like kind of vague ideas of what people are thinking.
Yeah, that's true. They also had a lot of testimonials.
So, this is 20 minutes. This is our 20 minutes. It took them 90 minutes.
Yeah.
Just the editing in this is just not good.
The editing is nuts.
There's also
when did
like
we start talking about Alex and his hair? Because he had a lot of testimonials.
I can't you can't see me twirl my head, but that's what I was doing.
So there's one guy, Alex, and he just has a really big head of hair.
It's
Long hair, but it's also big hair. I think that's the key.
Yeah. So like, do you think they had hair people on this show? Like, do they have makeup people? Were they wearing makeup? I wasn't really paying attention.
I don't think they have makeup people.
Like it's like you're on camera. Like you figure you need some sort of makeup.
No,
Right?
this is like a very down to earth.
I get.
That's
I understand.
a really good question, actually. I do wonder if like they don't have good makeup people, and I'm saying I'm going to say they definitely don't have hair people.
They
Do they have?
didn't have any hair people.
Do they have a makeup person who's just like not doing like the full thing, but doing like a little dab for everybody just to get to a minimum baseline? Like maybe I could.
Or
see
is this Mr. Stark's duty as well? The
that.
makeup
Yeah,
guy?
Graham Stark is definitely the makeup guy.
I have a question.
Yes,
Do you think they have a makeup person on Face Off?
I bet they do. That's so funny.
Sorry to sidetrack us from this
No,
thrilling
We're
discussion.
in the minutia.
here.
Let's go deeper.
This thrilling discussion of the production of the show.
So anyway, they draw their designs, and some of them are good. The person who won, it was fine.
The thing is, none of them I really liked, to be honest.
I
I
liked
definitely wouldn't buy the winners.
I liked Katie's, the one that had like the sort of character who was looking for a strip.
Yeah,
It's-
that was
That was
like
the best
most,
one.
It was more. It was better as a comic than as a like shirt, but it was good.
I think the color there was too many colors. Like
they-
all of them were almost way too complex.
Yeah.
like they just needed to simplify.
Yeah.
Well, one that wasn't too complex is our good friend Alex.
Oh my
Aw.
god.
Who went for a simple design that was just a little military kind of crest in the corner. And one of the things he put in the crest was instead of strip search, to simplify, just put SS. And the judges were not fans of a SS in a military context on a shirt they're going to sell on pennyarcade.com.
Like that is the most amateur thing I've ever seen.
Yeah,
Oh.
I can't imagine this being on network TV.
I can.
You think so? Like
If they actually sold the shirt, it'd be something else. But the guy does it, and they're like, "That seems like a bad idea," and he's like, "That's not what I was going for." Like, well, it's still a bad idea. Like, that
it's still
seems
going
fine.
up online.
Can I tell you guys a very weird story?
Please do.
I used to write software at Amazon that would like detect weird qualities of books, like, is this, erotica or whatever. So one day I'm pulled into a meeting with the project manager and he says, I want you to write a detector for books about the band Kiss.
What?
And I say, why? And he says, well, the band's Kiss, their logo has sort of the Stutzstaffel SS logo in it. And you can't sell any product in Germany that has like Nazi memorabilia on it. And I said, this is the worst request I've ever gotten. I'm not doing that. It's not happening. That's my story.
And
that was
now
the
they're
end of it?
selling Kiss books in Germany.
So if any German regulators are listening, Amazon is violating your terms of service.
Well, I mean,
in
they
their
tried.
Kiss division.
They tried.
I thought you were going to say when you used to work for Amazon, you wrote code in something people called SS.
No.
Why would he not just get an image search of the covers for the SS logo?
Image search is hard.
Sounds easier than trying to find all books related to Kiss. She's like, does this book have Kiss in it? Oh, maybe we should check the cover. Oh, all the books have Kiss in it somewhere? Or like 90%? Oh, oops.
Who's a person in Kiss?
Gene Simmons?
Gene Simmons. Yeah, if you
That's
just
right.
search for Kiss and Gene Simmons, you could classify. I was just not doing that. No way. This is like somebody who shouldn't really have been telling me to do that. But yeah,
What about
I'm-
when Kiss, the guy in Kiss sticks out his tongue? Was that considered erotica? No.
I don't think so.
You don't
Like,
think so?
I don't think so.
And would you be able to use that logo on your cover of your like
Self-published. book?
self-published book? Like, so many levels here. All right, let's pull it back. Let's pull it back. So the winner of the shirt kind of like had like these weird hands on them that I was just like, I don't want that on my shirt. And
It was designy. I just didn't like it.
They seem the thing they liked best about it was she actually drew an outline of a shirt and said, "This is the front and this is the back." They seemed really impressed by that. It's like, wow, you drew an outline of a shirt around your drawing. It's like, I think anybody does that really
Yeah.
make the design that much better?
that seems like, oh, everyone is super amateur, and this person's like kind of amateur.
This person's trying. You win.
Another weird thing about this person, Amy, is she draws with gloves on.
Yes.
Like, I feel like I just wouldn't have that tactility I need.
Well,
It's she's got the fingers out.
it's
okay.
the myth that you take it off and your fingertips are free.
Got it.
But were her hands really that cold in a house in Seward Park in Washington? I don't know.
entirely, who knows?
Can we rent that house?
We should find that house.
I'm reasonably sure I know where that house is. It's just like it's on the water, so it's kind of hard to get a Google map of it.
Do we need to rent a boat and get a shot of that house?
I do think the last time I saw it, I was on a jet ski.
Ooh.
What was your favorite shirt, Rob?
I don't like any of them.
What was your least favorite shirt, Rob?
My least favorite shirt
Besides
was,
the SS.
honestly, the one that they gave the lowest score to, which I feel bad because that was the Canadian contestant, but that one I thought was pretty weird looking.
Is that the one with like the P in front of the like,
The P
P hyphen.
in front of the magnifying glass with the hyphen after it.
Yeah. I thought she had a good idea. It just executed very, very poorly.
Actually, I think my favorite shirt was the one that they said the guy had it and then he ruined it by putting more stuff into it.
Yeah.
Even by putting more stuff into it, I thought that was probably
So
the
it
best
was
one.
like strip search in like block lettering,
Yeah, so it looked kind of comic-y.
and they had like weird color, like vibrant colors. Yeah, I thought it was good. I was going to say that was my favorite.
Oh, I stole your thunder.
You
Sorry.
stole it. Stole it.
Got you, Chris.
I
got
do
you.
agree that adding the like little like city outlines to it definitely made it worse, but it was definitely still the best one.
I didn't think it mattered that much. Like, I don't know if it made it that
I mean,
much different.
You go from like 3 out of 10 shirt and add to like a 2.5, like so like it wasn't great
Yeah.
to I don't know.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
And then the last episode we watched.
Well, the winner got to pick the two people to go into the elimination.
Oh yeah. Oh, before they announced the winner, they announced a loser.
Yes.
There-
Abby, the Canadian.
There's this the one with the head strip search
With
and
the
with
dash.
with the dash and a P on top of like this magnifying glass. It's very it looked bad.
There's a magnifying glass in the Strip Search logo, so a lot of them tried to incorporate magnifying glasses in various ways.
And the winner got to pick 2 to go to the elimination.
That's correct.
So I thought there was going to be 3 people in the elimination with the loser of the competition
Oh.
and these other 2 people.
That would make sense.
Right? But no. Apparently the winner just gets to pick the 2 losers, the 2 people that goes to elimination, and that's it.
Right.
And she didn't pick the loser of the competition.
That's correct. That's
I
part
feel
of
like
the,
that's-
part of the game.
No, that's 101 of these competition shows is to, if you don't want enemies in the house, you send the loser in. You're like, well, you lost. Now earn your way back in.
Right.
But
Yeah, I think you just made the show better with
Yeah.
your rule change.
the easiest,
Get Graham on the phone and be like, Graham, I got an idea.
the
I'll
easiest
drive
people to-
over.
the easiest people to throw in this elimination by far, person that lost, and SS shirt. Easy.
Well, she got half of it right.
Yeah, she sent SS shirt in,
Yeah, big hair, SS shirt.
and then she sent the
Sent Katie.
Katie, which the one judge really loved Katie's shirt, and you said was pretty good.
That's the one we liked that was not very graphic designy, but was comic-y, but we thought was decent.
Yeah.
So they go into this competition where they're
Now we're in
given-
episode 4.
episode 4.
No Graham in episode 4. Instead,
goodness.
we have the Penny Arcade guys host episode 4.
And so they bring the 2, people duking it out into the room, and they unveil a garbage can, and they say, "This is the trash bin of lost ideas or something."
Before they do that, though, they asked Katie, "Do you know why you're here?" And she's like, "No, I thought mine was okay." And he's like, "Yeah, I thought yours was good."
That was great.
That was pretty great.
Yeah, they did not say that about SS. They did make some
They-
joke about
They asked him if he was a Nazi, and he said, "I'm not currently affiliated with any Nazi parties." Did not say, "No, I'm not a Nazi."
that is very
I mean,
true.
I feel like that's like
He was. He was
are you or have you ever been associated with the Communist Party type thing?
I mean, he was trying to answer it in a jokey way, and he didn't win.
Oh, and they said, "What's your favorite thing about Hitler?" And he says, "The efficiency."
I mean, I think that's a good answer.
That's definitely a good answer.
You know, on Family
an-
Feud, good
good
answer.
answer,
Good
good
answer.
answer.
Good answer.
That would be a great Family Feud question.
See, that's not getting on network TV. What do you like most about Hitler?
That would be great.
I want Steve Harvey asking people that question.
Oh man, Bill.
So yeah,
Get that question on the Kanye West several celebrity episode. Steve Harvey
Oh,
asked Kanye
celebrity one? That'd be great. So they have to pick out of this trash bin 2 pieces of paper. Each of them pick one.
that. Yeah,
And that's the theme for the comic they have to give,
that's right.
which was space and ping pong,
Table tennis.
table tennis.
so they get to working, and it's kind
And
of
they
boring.
have 90 minutes.
Yeah,
This is the weirdest thing. So there's 90 minutes. This is a 20-minute episode of just this.
Yes.
And it's just the Penny Arcade people grilling these 2 contestants while they film, while they're working. It's insanity. It's not only do you have to make this comic in 90 minutes, you also have to do it while being grilled random questions by presumably your heroes.
Oh, yeah, they're definitely their heroes. Katie
No.
definitely, at one point, just was not working and was just having a conversation with them.
yeah.
And we're like, maybe I should let Katie, do some stuff.
And I do want to point out that I hated the humor of these 2 people in this room. It is just not mine.
They're definitely trying a little too hard.
They're trying though.
They are trying. They're.
I'm not just saying
Chris,
they're kind of fun. I could see it being funny. It's just
This is
not
the question.
funny.
These 2 guys or Graham Stark? Who's your pick?
I kind of like Graham Stark.
Oh, what a that!
No.
I didn't think you were gonna go there.
No.
I don't know. He's straight to the business. He's not he's not spending 20 minutes wasting my time.
Yeah, he doesn't have 20 minutes. He's got to go edit the damn thing. After.
Yeah, that's why. That's why I'm just I understand, but it's just not for me.
I did also like one of the guy who's the artist of the two. At some point, he definitely just stands behind them with his arms crossed, just like staring at them working.
Oh, yeah.
It's really trying to intimidate them. That was good.
Let's talk about the resulting comics.
Oh boy.
One,
So Katie's kind of made sense.
yeah, Katie's was like pretty good. It's you sort of start off and you're in a spaceship. Some guys are like
There's
sort
two
of
astronauts.
some astronauts are sort of being bounced around against the walls, and it turns out they are the ping pong ball in a giant space monster ping pong.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of. I actually
Yeah.
really like that.
I like that. That
Like
was good.
it actually. I feel like, as I said, most web comics don't have timing. I feel like that comic had like a setup and a payoff.
Yes.
Like there was like an
100%.
actual like flow and a reason for it to exist.
Yep.
And I thought the aliens kind of looked weird and cool and kind of like interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah. No. 100%.
it's sort of
agree.
like Krang and Kodos times a bajillion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like a ripoff. It,
No,
it
no,
looked
no, no. Very much its own thing.
And it had like a nice style to it. It was just like, I really liked it.
For 90 minutes, I
Yeah.
think that was really good.
Great work, Katie. And then Alex.
Sorry, buddy.
I don't even know what to say about Alex's because his made no sense.
His is 2 panels of people
first-
talking about strip search, and
The
it's
first
just
panel-
a fuck ton of text.
The first panel is talking about strip search. I'm not sure if the second panel was also talking about, it might have been talking about something else.
it's like
Then the third panel is something either flying into space or crashing into the Earth.
Not really, no. And it looks exactly like Penny Arcade. Like,
Yeah, that was also a problem.
it's unbelievable how bad this comic is.
I can't believe this person made it on the show.
It's wild. I'm almost like I want to go look at his comics and see how he made it on the show, but not really. Just a little bit.
I feel like there's like 12 people on the show. I think there's a good 4 or 5 people. I'm like, you're like, how are you on the show? Like they've got it like a real person that does this professionally. Okay, you're on the show. You need the exposure, and then you've got somebody that like kind of does it for mate. He doesn't even do it for pastime. His just friend told him to apply because he draws well. Like, how is he ever gonna win? Like
I don't know.
this dude's comic was just like, yeah, you're like 5-10 years like down the road from being able to make good comics. But
They really tried to be nice to him.
I honestly think he can make good comics.
Yeah.
Just like he needs time and life experiences to be able
Sure.
to make them.
Yeah.
And like his own style. But like you actually have to be making comics, I think, to win, or at least attempt to win this show.
Well, clearly, I guess I don't know. Like I'm assuming even if you don't end up going the elimination, at some point there will be everyone has to draw a comic challenge. But I wonder if you can get pretty far without doing that.
Well, it's just like the intros. Like this is my only intro to some of these people in terms of like realizing if they if they make comics or not.
Right.
And some of them like just didn't seem like they make any comics, and I'm like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
maybe that should be part of your intro bio piece. Is like what kind of comics you make, and if you don't make comics, what are you doing, right? Like, is that
I guess.
is that not like sane here?
Graham Stark disagrees.
I did really like how the 2 Penny Arcade guys were like being real positive about how terrible like not mentioning how real terrible that comic was. Just like, yeah, just keep at it, man. 10, 15 years from 20 years from now,
Yeah.
maybe you'll make it.
You just need more experience. You've got the raw talent. You just need more experience.
Yeah,
They said
go
that
look-
about 100 times.
Go read Penny Arcade 1998. I'm like, well, you guys were big, like you made it like even pretty early on. I feel like they were pretty big.
If you go back and look at the early stuff, it's poorly drawn and shitty comedy.
Yeah, that's
Chris
probably.
would say it's still shitty.
I mean, that's
to
also
be
true.
fair, I haven't read it in a long time, so I still could have been looking at early enough
But, like,
Penny Arcade.
when they
fair.
say go back and look, like, yeah, it's kind of that level, like that bad.
Which, how does he get on the show? Like we're watching like.
We'll never know.
We watch the tattoo show. Like if you had somebody that bad on the tattoo show, like
Ink Masters.
Ink Masters,
Or Impractical Jokers.
they had real professionals doing that.
The tattoo and part, yes.
Yeah. It just, maybe there's just not enough professional, like, level comic drawers. I don't know. They're just not in newspapers anymore.
No, they're not.
There are no newspapers. What newspapers?
That's also true.
What else do we got to say about the show?
Nothing. Oh, ratings.
Yeah, I guess we do.
All right, Max, give me your rating.
Bottom third, top of the bottom.
I really liked shitting on the show with you guys, so bottom third.
You know, maybe it gets good by the end, but the stuff we watched just dragged.
Doubtful.
I'm also putting the bottom third. I'm a little torn on it because I think like it's not aggressively bad in the way some shows are. And like, oh, there's one more minutia thing we do got to talk about. Well, we'll do after ratings. We all did bottom third. What do you think of? I've separated my episode 1 into 4 bite-sized morsels. So theoretically, you could skip the fax machine game and then move on and not need to worry about it.
You really reinvented the whole game here.
I think you cut this thing down to 20 minutes. Infinitely better show. Could be a top third show. The problem with the show is the production, the editing, just not good enough. It's too boring.
Yeah. There's a kernel of something good here.
Yeah, I agree.
But should more shows be trying to break their episodes up into shorter shows?
Or maybe just provide like chapters, like a DVD.
I think you're missing the reasoning why they did it into 4. I feel like they just released these on like still on like a weekly or like Monday, Wednesday, Friday kind of cadence instead of like on network TV where, you know, you only have that sort of time. This is the internet. You can do whatever you want. Like, you don't have to keep the cadence that you're looking for. So I don't think they were like, oh, we're dropping 4 episodes at once.
Right.
They didn't do that. They dropped 1 episode Monday, maybe every day of the week, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday was like their episode 1 was launched in 1 week, but not like every day. So there was something for somebody to do every day. When they went to pennyarcade.com, there was like a different episode to watch.
Like if Netflix took Churchill's Secret Agents and divided the episode we watched into 3 episodes, does that make it better in any way?
No, because I'm more likely to stop watching.
Got it.
That the only reason it's done this way is because it was launched with a Penny Arcade comic.
Got it. Okay.
So, and that might be the overall detriment to the whole thing, just because they were like, oh, we have to have this on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday cadence. So they had to pad it out with extra like telestration game like stuff.
Yeah, definitely could encourage to pad it out because we watched like over an hour, no commercials of content. Well, we fast forwarded some, so maybe it wasn't actually over an hour, but in theory, we watched over an hour.
I think we ended up with about an hour, I think.
About, yeah, that sounds about right.
So I don't know. I just think the production needs to be better. So like we watched did you watch the Japanese show we watched?
Documental?
No, I survived a Japanese.
I did not watch that one.
So it's a similar thing where it's just a competition, and it was just kind of boring. Like you can't, even with much better production, it's still there's like a balance. You can't just like your first attempt at producing one is probably not going to be good unless you've got experienced producers helping you out.
Sure. Speaking of shows with challenges, tell me about the show you've been binging. Churchill's Secret Warriors 7.
I still have 1 more episode to go, but I've been watching a couple more. Definitely interesting. They definitely go like deep into them being isolated for a while, them like living in the wild. They're like living outside for like a week. They're like doing this, like climbing this crazy ladder on this mountain in the rain. This like metal ladder that looks real dangerous. Like it's not super dangerous, but it's definitely
Pretty
more
nuts.
dangerous than like, and they have to like go over this like cliff edge on this ladder. Like they're wearing safety harness, so it's not like, whatever.
Sure.
But I definitely would have been scared trying to do it.
Right. Oh yeah, I'm intrigued to watch more. I gotta try to find some time for that.
It's definitely a fine thing that I have one more episode, which is called like the final challenge or something. Which I'm assuming that is
it the final reckoning?
no. I'm assuming they're gonna actually have to go out and perform some sort of like task that they would have.
You have to go out and murder someone.
But like so far, it's been all about like training and like giving them like hand holding them a bit. So I am assuming the next challenge is going to be a lot more like freeform.
Chris, if it's about Operation Anthropoid, text me.
Okay, I'll immediately.
Yeah.
I'll send you photos.
Yeah. Any other shows people are watching?
We doing a challenge update or no? We don't
I
have
haven't-
Harrison.
I didn't see it.
I have seen it. Started off slow, getting good. There's something really great in last night's episode that I'm not gonna spoil for Chris.
I watched last week's episode, and I still don't like Redemption House.
That's
it's-
okay.
It's no bueno.
Hmm.
No bueno. I did watch Black Klansman.
Oh,
Oh yeah, I
weekend.
wanted to see that.
It's pretty good.
Kylo Ren joins the KKK.
He is really good.
He's so good in everything.
Yeah.
He's good in like I saw it's Adam Driver, right?
Yeah.
I saw he was in it. I'm like, yeah, I'll go see that because like we watched
Silence.
Silence, and man, was that movie like long and kind of boring. But anytime Adam Driver was there, it was just like, man, he's so good. I really liked him in that movie, and like I didn't like that movie.
You ever see that movie where he's a child actor, Baby Driver? That's all I got.
But Black Klansman was pretty good. It definitely trying to hammer home some like, meta narrative about current, climate and it's set in the 60s, so it's actually a real life thing that happened.
How's
kind of
Denzel Jr.?
pretty good actually. He was pretty
Pretty
good
good?
too. Like the acting in the movie is phenomenal. Like everyone in it is really good.
All right.
Um,
But like I had the same. I saw the trailer. I was like, oh, maybe. And then I see Kylo Ren. I'm like, oh, now I'm kind of more intrigued. Maybe I got to see this movie.
yeah, I would definitely recommend it. It was good. Rob,
I watched nothing.
you're not watching BIP? No BIP?
I've watched no BIP.
What? We need the BIP update.
I got no BIP update.
I hear another show's coming back too.
Are You the One comes back tonight. So I haven't watched it yet because it hasn't even aired yet. I might not be watching.
You haven't you haven't got your time machine up yet?
I might watch it.
Did not precog it. Although like I was like, oh, I shouldn't watch it again. The show's not that good. And now I'm like,
It's
next week
kinda
on the
good.
pod, I have just tell you just their nicknames and not their real names.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be great. Better Call Saul is back again. Man, such a good show. Like, it starts out, it's a very slow show, but man, they really know how to write and know characters and get you really into it. This season so far is the most fast paced and most interesting of all of the seasons so far. So I'm really intrigued on it's getting real close to Breaking Bad territory at this point. So
Ooh.
I think they're going to accelerate and get real close to the end of the season. So
Cool.
if you've been holding off
I have.
because it hasn't been close enough to Breaking Bad, this
Now's
season's
the time.
probably a good time to come in.
All right.
I think that's it for us this week, right? Anyone?
I've been
go ahead.
I've been watching New Terrace House. It's so good.
What's the tagline this time?
Opening new doors.
Opening
New
door.
Terrace House.
They're this time they're like in the mountains and it's like really pretty and everyone's going snowboarding and yeah.
Podcast still good in the show?
So
Oh, it's so good.
every winter show we've watched has been pretty bad.
This one's so good.
Like watch the Winter Games.
That was great.
Not
though.
good. Not good. We watched Winter Mountain. It
Yeah.
was Hunter Mountain, right?
Winter Break, Hunter Mountain.
Winter Break Hunt. That was bad. Such a bad show.
We'll find the winter show for you, Chris. It's out there.
I mean, I'm actually caught up Well, I didn't see one episode this week, but I'm almost caught up with our favorite Floribama Shore.
Oh,
And
James
man,
isn't here to be excited about this.
that show is bananas. It's much better. It's better now. Like the first 2 episodes, I was like very
Courtney
lukewarm.
peeing on stuff again?
Not Courtney this time.
Oh,
That was not the answer I was expecting.
Somebody definitely peed in a cab.
Oh, man.
What was the I don't remember her name. Fake boobs girl peed in the middle of a cab.
I think that's all of them.
Courtney peed in a Depends.
Okay.
Somebody got her a Depends because of last season. She's like, they got really drunk and they let me try this out. So she like put it on, just sat in the middle of the living room peeing in it.
Oh my God.
That was pretty funny. Courtney is an actual character this episode, like this season. She has, she's not just peeing places.
But she is still peeing places, clearly.
She's not really doing all. She's not
Okay.
like they were like never on the beach.
That
It's
seems
very
like a
weird.
flaw.
Yeah. They also did this thing that I hate with reality shows, as we've talked about, is where like the producers clearly gave them a job, but they have this scene about, oh, we're gonna find a job, and they called the place up, and like, just like, no, you fucking got them a job. Like, just stop.
Yeah, no, Jersey Shore does that too. I don't get it.
The challenge also.
Challenges that too.
I don't, not really, but like Jersey Shore last season definitely did it a bunch. You're like,
Yeah,
no, stop that.
It doesn't make sense. Just like, yeah, Pauly D can say that, oh yeah, they set it up for us to go do this thing, and it's just as good and not weird. So why are you going through this?
I don't understand. I really don't understand it. It's just like, yeah, we got a job. What like?
Yeah.
Why do we need to be like, we're gonna go find jobs? Like, how is that interesting? Like,
don't get it.
that's clearly not what happened. All right. Well, I guess you can find us on Facebook.com/HoopWithUsOn. You can find us on Twitter @HoopWithUsOn. Please rate us on iTunes, and you can email us questions and suggestions at hoopwithuson@gmail.com.
I heard you can find us on Spotify now.
You can.
Whoa, crazy. All right. Thanks for listening.